Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. We're going to do a little something different today. This is Friday. And I just finished watching this video with Dave Chappelle. Okay, first of all, this right here is not marijuana, not weed. I do not smoke weed, okay? This stuff is called bukhur. And it's a type of incense, man, that'll light up your whole house. When I was in Egypt, I used to see most of my teachers, man, when I would attend the classes, they would have this stuff, man. Stuff is, it smells awesome. And in my house, you come to my house, it always smells like that. Anyway, I just finished watching a video done by the African-American comedian Dave Chappelle, very famous, I'm sure you all know. And he was talking about Katt Williams, and the Katt Williams who had recently had done a an interview on Shannon Sharpe, the former, NFL tight ends podcast, Club Shay Shay. And I just find this stuff so fascinating, man. And it's something that's concerning to me, very much concerning to me, man. Because what I'm seeing is, all right, Shannon Sharpe, these are two black men. They're just sitting on a couch. Now, Shannon Sharpe is interviewing Katt Williams, right? Katt Williams, he's just, I don't know if he means well or not. Like, a lot of times with these guys, it's hard to tell. You think sometimes they're just a comedian. A lot of times when I see him, honestly, when I watched it, when I see Katt Williams, I watched it because I think he's a funny person. Even though, he doesn't have always the cleanest comedy, but whatever, man. I don't claim to be some saint that only laughs at the cleanest stuff and everything. We're trying to get there, but I'm not there yet, okay? So I'm expecting to laugh. I'm watching. The whole time, like, what he's doing for the most part is just talking about other people and other people's lives. Just doing a bunch of what you would call backbiting. And what's amazing to me is that this type of content went completely crazy viral. That a man sitting there just literally talking about like other men and other women is something that goes viral. That this is where our society has come. And what I find really, really disheartening is the number of black people, African Americans, man, that find this type of entertaining, this type of content entertaining and enriching and good. It bothers me a lot, man. Because with all of the issues that we have as a community that we all know that I don't have to all go through, and the lack of unity that we have in the various fields that we're in, like many people will tell you, even our forms of art, where there's constant strife in, hip hop, for example, has the battle culture, like what's going on right now between the brother Yasin Bey, Mos Def, and Drake is the latest thing. Now Drake wants to say Mos Def was on drugs or something like that. Now, personally, as a person who follows rap, I think Drake needs to leave Mos Def alone because lyrically he's not on his level. Okay, that's just a side to talk, right? But this is what's going on. This is something that we find entertaining, and we find something that is worth our time to sit there and listen to a 3-hour interview of a guy just sitting there talking about Cedric the Entertainer and Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey and all these other people. Listen, brothers and sisters, with all due respect, and like I said, I'm not better than any of you or anyone at all. Don't claim to be. But it's our job to just advise each other. For me, it's a religious obligation. All right? My Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, ad-deen an-nasiha, that this religion is sincere advice. And it's definitely sincere advice to your Muslim brothers and so on. But I'm going to take the same principles and extend it to just humanity as a whole. Sincere advice. A man, we got to understand, a man, going back to purpose, a man is expected to fulfill certain roles on this planet, man. All right, we're told this is our belief, and this is what I'm gonna share with you, man. You and I were created to be caretakers, stewards, and run this earth, rulers, man. When Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth, created our father Adam, right? He said to the angels in the Quran, وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ وَإِذْ قُلْ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Excuse me, I started making a few errors there, mixing up with other verses I've just been memorizing lately. He said, when your Lord said to the angels, I'm going to create in the earth a Khalifa. Khalifa, this is a steward. This is a person that's the caretaker of the place, man. Right? That's your job. He also tells us in another part of the scripture, he said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. He said that I did not create jinn and man except to worship me. When man was created, and this goes to women too, but man in particular I'm talking about because the subject is about a man. Man, his number one job and his number one priority is to establish, foster a relationship with his Lord who created him, with God. That's his number one thing, man. He's not here, to floss and get money and, lay with women and all of these different things, man, that serve as distractions. What happened was, he says, الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْغَفُورُ. He said that we praise the one, right, who created life, or he created, in this case, he created death and created life, so that we would come to know which indeed amongst us is best in actions. Hayata, mota, wal hayata. All right, so once we die and then we're brought back to life, this is what's going to happen. This is when we're going to be shown who was best in action and how this relates to him here. Is that we spend way too much time focusing on BS and stuff that don't benefit us, that's not going to benefit us, man. Like, I get Katt, like, I watched it too, so I'm not better than any of y'all, right? Katt Williams is a funny dude. He is. Like, when he went in on Michael Jackson, I remember. When he went in on Michael Sam, that was my favorite, that he is a funny guy. Had me rolling. And much of the content, even when he's talking about Steve Harvey, Cedric, to me, it's just funny, right? I'm laughing, whatever. And then when they come back to him, it's just funny Negro stuff. Half of the time, I don't know if it's scripted. I don't judge it. I look at it like, I don't know. I don't even assume it's real initially, because to me, the whole TV, the whole internet thing, all of that stuff to me is literally magic. It's about money. It's about getting these clicks so they can make this money. Shannon Sharpe is the one that's happy. He's the one that's benefiting. Katt Williams is happy probably because Shannon Sharpe might be breaking him off something. I'm sure he's getting paid for that interview. I'm sure this new attention is getting him some calls to he'll probably have a special coming out soon. Who knows? These things are actions they engage in to make them relevant, to get them popular, make them money. But what I am bothered by is the number of people who actually feel some type of way, one way or the other, as it relates to these things. You got people really out here, like, disliking, hating, like, guys like Steve Harvey, disliking guys like Cedric the Entertainer, having real opinions about Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish, based off of stuff that this guy is saying, and I'm trying to understand, like, where does this stuff find any type of relevancy in your life? How does it enhance your life? How does this stuff fix your soul? How does that get you any closer to the relationship you're supposed to foster with your Lord? Worrying about, Katt Williams and stuff like that. Now, Dave Chappelle, I noticed, was actually trying to say what I'm trying to say right now, but he does it in his comedic way. right? He's trying to say, he put it like, what part of the game deals with, talking about these people in order to mess their money up and all of that kind of stuff. And he issued a warning to him. He said, like, listen, I don't come at none of y'all, not trying to beef with any of y'all, but if y'all come at me, let's go. Right? Now, Katt Williams has always shown a tremendous amount of respect for Dave, and I don't think he wants to go with Dave. I think he's strategic in not going at it with him. Now, I'm not getting into that, but I think Dave Chappelle is trying to give many of you advice in this matter. But many of us, man, I think we're a little distracted by the world and not understanding that this right here, they're taking this attitude, man, where Katt Williams is right, and Ricky Smiley and Cedric and these guys are really stealing jokes, Like, why do you care about that? Why do you give a damn about that? Really? How does it benefit you? This is what, like, I'm lost in the sauce about. I remember a couple years ago, this was the thing with Katt Williams. It seems to be real with him. He was talking about Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish back then, right? And I remember Tiffany Haddish and Wanda Sykes. I don't know who got who to do it, but Wanda Sykes had got fostered a meeting between Katt Williams and Tiffany Haddish, right? So all we saw is they in the meeting. They didn't show the context of the meeting or anything like that. Now, the camera showed them leaving the meeting and someone coming up to Tiffany Haddish and asking her, how'd the meeting go and is there an issue? And what Tiffany Haddish said was, there is no issue, sir. That's what she said. There's no issue, sir. Right? And then Katt Williams said, he goes out there, when they put the camera on him, he said, I had a meeting with, Mrs. Wanda Sykes, and, she showed me the error of my ways, and blah, 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 this and that. Now, you know what probably happened, right? He probably was in that damn room, and Tiffany Haddish probably, had the whole attitude and all that going on, probably asking him straight up, nigga, what's wrong with you? Like, you got a problem with me? Something like that, we could talk about it now. And I bet you in that room, Katt Williams just did one of these. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't do that, this and that, right? I bet you his energy wasn't the same when they were in that room together. Like, I could just tell by what happened after that. And what I'm saying is, like, the principles I come from, right? Number one, like, I'm born and raised North Philly guy. Like, so first of all, I come with those principles. And then secondly, as a Muslim, Islam offers me a particular framework in which you judge these situations accurately, like who's more correct and who's not more correct in these situations. And honestly, the way Wanda Sykes and Tiffany Haddish handled it in that situation is more honorable than the way Katt Williams does it, because they're not talking about him like behind his back and all that kind of stuff, at least publicly anyway. I don't know what they do in their private sessions. Whereas him, all he wants to do is when he get in front of a camera, he want to talk about everybody else, but instead of himself and his problems. Brothers, this is not praiseworthy behavior. It's not. This is not even manly behavior. It's not even manly, seriously. And too many of y'all, like, and it bothers me, y'all find this stuff entertaining, right? Like, too many of y'all, like, y'all think that this is like, y'all really care if it's true or not, this and that. I'm hearing a lot of, Katt Williams he ain't lying, he's telling the truth, this and that. First of all, how do you know that? Let's say he was telling the truth, what does it matter, right? Now, from my standpoint, either way he's wrong, if he's telling the truth or he's lying, because you're talking about somebody, that's not there. Now, even if you follow like biblical like law and biblical scripture and biblical morals, it's against that as well. But in Islam, it's straight up against that, because what you're doing is you're going to foster bad and ill will between people. Like, if you have an issue with somebody, man, you're supposed to like call that person up and deal with them one-on-one. Like, all that just talking, like clowning them on TV to somebody else, that stuff is corny, man. But too many of us don't have a framework to which we know how to judge these things. Like, that stuff, man, if you a God-fearing person, that stuff is not pleasing to God at all. It really isn't. Because we don't know where it comes from, man. It's usually one of the 7 evils. Like, it's either rancor or envy, jealousy. Who knows what it is, where it comes from. but it doesn't come from a good place. And then many of us, man, who are watching these types of things and developing these different opinions about these people, so on and so forth, we need to analyze where our spirit is at, where our feeling is coming from. Like, some of you really don't like Steve Harvey. Why? Like, have you met Steve Harvey? Has Steve Harvey done anything to you in your life? Like, are you just simply jealous of him because he's rich? Because, he has a daughter that's going around dating all these celebrities? Are you jealous of his wife? You jealous of his lifestyle? You jealous that he travels to Dubai, that he has these shows? Like, what is it? If so, that's an evil that you got to deal with. Because, number one, that type of envy is not pleasing to God. Like, if you believe like that God can't do the same thing, if it's just about him having money, if you believe God can't give you what Steve Harvey has, then right there, that's sinful, because you're limiting God's like generosity. No, you can get that as well. And your mentality should be that, yeah, I can have that too. And hating on him is not going to help you. This is if your hatred for him is coming from a place of jealousy. So many of you, that's the test for people who aren't rich and people who aren't wealthy. They may foster jealousy and ill will towards rich people. Don't feel sorry. Don't feel like jealous of rich people. Some of them are the most unhappy people. Like, look at their divorce rates. Even look at suicide amongst them. You would think, like, you're a child Hollywood star and all of this type of stuff that they living it up, and you don't know what's going on, honestly. So I wouldn't even waste that type of energy on that type of stuff. Worrying about Ricky Smiley and whatnot. Cedric and Tennis stole a joke from Katt Williams. Like, why is that something you're spending brain cells on? Why are you wasting brain cells worrying about that? Like, there's people really literally arguing with other people. No, man, he did steal it from Katt Williams. And this is why some of these celebrities talk to y'all like y'all just a bunch of sheep that have no life. It's because this is what you're showing them. This is what you look. You look like you have no life. That's why they don't even respond to you, don't talk to you, none of that. You need to see yourself as like just a creature, man, that God has given limitless potential to. You have a soul inside of you that has limitless potential, has the potential to, man, be almost like a superhero if you really know what's going on and you know how to tap into it, man. You know how to bring it forth. For real. Be focusing in on that. The people you should idolize are prophets, man. Idolize Jesus, idolize Moses, idolize David, idolize Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't idolize Katt Williams or Steve Harvey or Dave Chappelle. Them guys, man, they struggling just like you are down here. Their struggle might be different from yours. Like, the person that has money and the person that's poor are both equally struggling. The person that has money, he got more responsibility because he can help people that are starving. He can help people that need what they need. And if he's not doing that, he's going to be responsible for that on the day of judgment. Because ultimately, everything he has is really God's. It's not even his. He doesn't own anything. And then if you're a person that's poor, or you're a person that's regular or middle class or whatever, and you're struggling, like, your struggle is to not want to be jealous of these people or want to bring harm to them or rob them or anything like that. See them fall. Like, even if you're not actively doing something, just that type of energy just destroys you from within. You don't want to have that. Because I'm just not understanding. Like, yeah, Katt Williams telling the truth. The Illuminati's doing this and people doing that. Like, what does that have to do with you? Like, I just don't get it. And this is just some advice I'm offering, man. Because I don't get it, and maybe you can help me understand, so that's all, man. Peace.